here we go. It's your Monday morning. Welcome back to it. Yeah, no, we've got to take a breath, man, because there really is so much happening. Like I rightly said, Monday morning. There's a lovely weekend, long weekend to look forward to, but the holidays don't seem to stop the flow of drama that fills the headlines, though. So our news editor, Roy Simpson, is back with us to unpack the stories behind them. And as always, we'd love to have you join in on the discussion and share your thoughts and opinions with us on our WhatsApp line 06340888863 or on social media as well. Now,
you can be a citizen reporter, like was it Jacques who helped us break the
Pierre,
you legend. That's why we keep him here. He does actually have a photographic memory. Roy, great to have you here. You were saying you weren't expecting much drama out of the DA this weekend, a big weekend for them elections-wise. John's in. He said probably the most irritating thing that he could say to the ANC, and that is their official opposition is the EFF and not the ANC. Any surprises? You weren't expecting much. Did anything come out of this that surprised you from policy to play out?
More on the policy side, because obviously the power positions have come out as expected. It's John, it's Helen Zille, Ivan Meyer. It's all fairly mundane and predictable. But no, there were really interesting policy things that were happening that I hadn't really made myself aware of until I started studying this. And there were changes to the Constitution, largely centralizing power. Now, it's a double-edged sword because in one sense it gives them the opportunity to get rid of people who are problematic.
Not towing the line.
Well, more, let's say someone has committed some kind of an offense, so they don't get trapped in that ANC situation where you've got these people who are facing criminal charges but also running for office.
For sure, okay.
So it does allow for that.
They can throw individuals under the bus when they need to. That's great.
Well, that's the other thing. That's the other part of the sword then is it can be abused within the party system because it centralizes control. And that's always something to be a bit wary of. And then, as you alluded, John Steenhuisen saying it's the EFF. The EFF is public enemy number one. And
are those his votes? Why? Where are the DA hoping to gain ground, not to lose ground? Why would the EFF be his ideal kind of smash and grab?
I think they're because they're the more fearsome. The policies that they've got are more viscerally alarming, especially to the middle class. I think it's a strategic blunder of incredible note to make this statement, because if you want to change the power structure, if you're looking to become the new government, you're going to need coalition partners.
You're going to need them.
And I'm afraid you're going to potentially need the EFF. The numbers aren't going to come out with the ANC EFF under 50%. Plus, I mean, that's 10% of the population. It's over 1 million of the most marginalized people who feel...
There's a reason why they've been acting in this way.
Exactly. So you need to somehow accommodate them if you really want to build an inclusive government. And the fact that you're already saying we will have nothing to do with those people, really, they do it every election. They find a way to shoot themselves in the foot.
And you could have had Julius to go and do his dirty boxing when he needed him. He could have, you take this side, I'll handle this side. They could have worked so well together. Crazy stuff, man.
And listen, the other big story as well, Oscar Pistorius, it was all over the news. In the newspapers as well, the parole hearing, but it came down to that he's not quite eligible for parole just yet. Is that pretty much what it comes down to?
That's pretty much what it came down to. The confusion comes from the fact that he's been sentenced 3 times for this crime. The first was culpable homicide, then they appealed that and said, no, it's murder, and he got the murder conviction with a 6-year sentence. And then the NPA appealed that and went, you can't give him 6 years for murder, and the Supreme Court of Appeal gave him 13 years and 5 months. So there are all these different dates at which his sentence would have begun. But it's the final court that gets to say exactly where the process is at. And the SCA said on Tuesday last week, no, it's August 2024. That he's eligible for parole. And they went ahead and had the parole hearing, and Reva's mom, June, had to come in and do this.
And this means now that the family is going to have to go through this again, presumably.
Absolutely, in just over a year's time. So it's a serious blunder by the Department of Correctional Services and an inhumane one. Really hard for the Steen company.
Sure.
One that speaks to the psyche of the nation, which is why it's such a pressure point. And as always, we need you to push back. Let us know what is affecting your life. What are those news stories? Yes, even an April Fool's or 2 you can throw in. We'll try to address that. What is affecting your life? 06340888863. We would love to hear from you this morning. And anything is open. Please, this is a safe place, so please speak out. We've got another session coming, and we'll chat more about politics here in South Africa in just a moment.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. We are tackling our major news stories, and our news editor, Roy Simpson, is scrumming down with us to do exactly that and helping us decode. And of course, we've asked you guys to weigh in 063-408-8863 to drop us a voice note. And of course, the Oscar Pistorius story has triggered you. So let's hear a couple of those voice notes. Let's get some comments up on our social media platforms as well. And Elise saying should stay in jail and serve his sentence, but our justice system is failing us a big time. I think just tapping into the general emotion of the feeling.
Definitely, because like you rightly said, it is such a big emotional thing, I think, for the entire
whole country. Yeah.
And Donay says he should serve all this time. Reva didn't get a choice, and neither should he. All right, so that's the general feelings out there.
Well, look, it will be left to a parole board hearing. This is just an opportunity to have that hearing. It doesn't mean there's going to be a particular outcome to it. And certainly they had to go through the trauma of doing the actual presentation to the parole board.
Yeah.
But his parents saying they don't believe he's told the truth. They don't believe that he is, in fact, remorseful about it. So those arguments may still weigh in the future. And so that outcome may yet be the case, that he does serve his full time.
Absolutely. Now, moving a little bit further abroad, but still staying here. Other than
is this
funny
international
enough,
or local?
we're going national, But other than the price of onions that's got Roy red in the face here, which I said to him, I said, have you seen the price?
Okay.
Yeah, Roy, what was it again?
44% in a year.
44% in a year for onions. Okay, but we are talking about a rather striking African story that's quite close to home. Lesotho's parliament is discussing a proposal that it should make a land claim against South Africa, and not a small one at that. Apparently the whole of the Free State should be part of the claim.
Absolutely, it's the whole of the Free State.
The whole of the Free State.
Lesotho is about, what, 30,000 square kilometres. It's the whole of the Free State. It's a little bit of the Eastern Cape, KwaZulu-Natal, the Northern Cape, some of them Mpumalanga, about 130,000
The best parts, presumably, of each.
No, not necessarily. No, the parts where there's a historical claim.
For sure.
So this is out there. It's a kind of story that builds a frisson of what, they're going to come for our land.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's a ploy. This guy, Tsepo Pilase, I think is Lipolo, he is the sole representative of his political party in the 120-member parliament in Lesotho. So he's by no means a powerhouse.
He's shooting his shot.
He's really taking his chance. Yeah.
It's the thing of draw attention to yourself with something that's somewhat outrageous. So no, this isn't serious. It's not going to create tensions between Lesotho and South Africa. We're certainly not going to be going to war over it. But it does raise really interesting questions about our perceptions of what the correct land ownership pattern should be. Yeah.
And I suppose it forces us to look in a mirror as well, which is always a very difficult time. But please don't weaponize. Free State, we don't need to. We don't need to this time. They were ready to fight for independence not so long ago. Are we going to see him in the docks? Are we going to see him in handcuffs? I know we want more drama out of this story than we're probably going to get, so I'm hoping you can fan the flames. Donald Trump, is he going to jail?
Is he going to jail? No, I don't think he's going to jail. I don't think that's the outcome. But I think we're going to get all the drama we want. A lot of this is theatre, not political theatre so much as judicial theatre. They need to, or they have this opportunity as the American judicial system to be seen to not be favouring the powerful. So expect him probably in handcuffs. I think he would be quite keen on being seen in handcuffs anyway.
He's probably got his own ones that he's going to say, these guys...
take these ones, use
These are photo ready. You will.
No, they'll use the ones without the fluff on. So yes, he will appear in a New York court. He's going to be arraigned. He's been indicted by a grand jury. This is proper. He's going to go and he'll have his Miranda rights read to him. You have the right to remain silent, etc. It'll be hohe drama. It'll be exactly what you're looking for. And then we'll get down into a proper court case where this judge is going to start making a ruling on whether he broke the law or not.
And on none of the terrible things he's done up until the point that he lied about the terrible things that he had done
On his tax return.
form. Yeah, exactly that. Will he, and I think the most interesting, will he take his right to remain silent, being Donald Trump? That's going to be an interesting one to watch. Roy, we love having you around. Stick around. What are your thoughts? 063-408-8863. What's got you talking this morning? Maybe winning 10 grand will get you talking. Let's find out.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
And we're back with our look at the major news stories on your Feel Good Breakfast Show this morning. Welcome back to you as well. Our news editor, Roy Simpson, is back with us to help us decode them, but we're taking a slightly different angle now this morning.
And we love this because we have a shared experience of life right now that we don't often get. We mentioned the upcoming religious holidays, and there are notable ones for several faiths coming up. And obviously for Christians, our Easter festival is this coming weekend. That means it's Lent for a lot of them. Then traditionally, and this involves giving up certain foods, it's also the Muslim holy month of Ramadan, with its complete restriction on food and water. So I suppose to oversimplify this, how many people are fasting on the planet right now?
Good question. About 2.4 billion Christians, give or take. So it's the Lent period for them, which is giving up luxuries, is really where that's at. Judging by American numbers, probably about a quarter of them are adhering. So what's that, 600 million? You've got 1.6 billion Muslims, both voluntary and involuntary, but they'll all culturally be following the Ramadan fast. So that's on the go at the moment. So 2.2. Coming up this week, Pesach for Jewish adherents as well. So all the Abrahamic religions at the moment. We're at, 2.2? About 1 in 4 people on the planet are currently fasting in some way.
So just share a thought. If someone's a little bit irritable this morning, if someone's just got that vibe, the hangriness is kicking in, just understand. But that's amazing. Talk about a collective shared experience.
Absolutely. I mean, those are big numbers, and it's we all know that fasting is part of various religions. But I mean, maybe we can ask you this morning. I mean, what purpose does it serve?
Yeah, it's very common to Hindus and all religions have this, and the reason is it's disruptive and instructive. So it's disruptive in the sense that it takes you out of your ordinary day and your ordinary cycle of earning money, spending money, and it's instructive because then you start asking yourself, why am I doing this? And then you start contemplating, well, why am I an adherent?
Why do I need to eat in the first place?
So it's really cool in that it focuses you internally on the spiritual quest, which is the commonality between all the religions. And externally, it focuses you on charity. So in fact, with 1 in 4 people on the planet doing this simultaneously, it's a really interesting moment in time where you have people focusing on why they're doing, what it is to be human.
Is the why?
Such a powerful moment.
And at the same time looking towards their fellow human being. It's an opportunity for real fraternity. This is one of those moments where if everyone really embraced this, we could be looking at building a better society and our ultimate goal of building a more admirable humanity. Because we'd be looking at our common goal of trying to understand why we're here.
And as crazy as it sounds, we are all common. We are all the exact same species, believe it or not. As crazy as that sounds and impossible as it seems on days like today, you've just balanced out all of the bad news you've ever given us.
Thank you very much.
We love you for that. Hopefully that's left you feeling a bit more hopeful about the day ahead. But if you are fasting right now, please share that experience with us and know that we are sending so much love to you right now to try and balance out our April Fool bad karma. We haven't heard yet exactly how we caught you out, but expect some of that news to come up. Roy, thank you so much. We love you, guy.
Thank you.